Jackal and the Dead Elephant. Once upon a time a jackal lived in a deep forest. While he is search of food he found a dead elephant. He was hungry but was unable to pierce the thick hide of the elephant. Suddenly a lion appeared on the scene. The jackal thought of a wonderful plan to get rid of the lion. He said, "O King of Jungle, I have killed this elephant for you. You are welcome to enjoy the feast." The lion said that lions do not eat animals killed by others and went away. Now a tiger came from somewhere. The jackal said that the elephant was killed by a lion and he was guarding the carcass till the lion returns from bath. The tiger ran for his life hearing the name of the lion. Then a leopard came. The jackal said that leopard can enjoy some food till the lion returns. The leopard was apprehensive but jackal said that it would alert the leopard if lion comes in sight. The elephant's hide the jackal shouted that the lion was coming and leopard left the scene. With his intelligence the jackal was able to enjoy his food. The king cobra and the ants. Once upon a time, a king cobra used to live in a forest. He used to feed on birds' eggs and small creatures like lizards and frogs. During the night, he used to hunt for his food and in the morning he used to slide into his hole to sleep. Gradually, he started growing fat. Over a period of time, the cobra became so fat that it started becoming difficult for him to crawl in and out of his narrow hole. So, he decided to leave the hole. He went to a huge tree and decided to make his home there. But, there was an anthill near the roots of the tree. The king cobra did not like this. He went to the anthill and, being big and powerful, he ordered all the ants to leave the place and go away at once. Many other small creatures who lived on the tree were frightened when they saw such a huge snake. All of them left their homes and went to stay somewhere else. But the ants were not scared of the snake. Thousands of ants came out of the anthill and started crawling over the king cobra's body. Soon, they had covered his whole body. They stung him all over his body, causing him immense pain. The king cobra tried to shake the ants off but he couldn't get rid of them. Finally, the king cobra died a painful death. It is rightly said that even the strong and mighty cannot tackle the small ones if they are in a large number. The ugly duck. Near a beautiful pond, there lived a handsome duck couple. They were very excited as their babies were about to get hatched from the eggs. The papa duck was so eager to see his babies that all he could do was roam here and there in anxiety. Suddenly, what they hear is sweet little quack quacks coming from the nest and papa duck just rushes to the nest to catch the first glimpse of his babies. Oh my God! They are so lovely. Suddenly a hoarse quack comes from below Mama Duck. You are so ugly and pale. You can't be our baby. The papa and Mama Duck along with their 4 babies sail away. Far away from the ugly duckling, leaving him behind in dismay and all alone. The poor duckling doesn't know what's wrong with him. He checks his wings, his beak, his feet, but all looks fine. Suddenly he turns around and sees his reflection in the pond and what he sees is a complete disappointment. Nobody loves me. What would I do now? Where would I go? The ugly duckling starts walking in complete sadness. So many days, weeks and months pass by and the poor ugly duckling wanders all alone in the deep forest. Suddenly he stops and feels extremely cold. Oh, it is so cold. I wish I had a warm house too. Suddenly a huge ball of snow comes rolling from behind and the poor duckling gets caught in that and starts screaming for help. A woodcutter cutting the woods in a nearby place hears the scream of the duckling and runs for help. Oh poor thing. Come here, you need something warm to drink. The woodcutter picks up the ugly duckling and keeps him in the warmth of his overcoat. He takes him home and keeps him wrapped in a warm blanket right in front of the fireplace. Don't worry, poor little thing. I will take care of you. And like this, many years passed by and the ugly duckling grew under the care of the woodcutter. But one thing he made sure. Never did he again saw his reflection again. One day on a sunny afternoon, he was wandering along the sides of a lake. Suddenly he sees a wedge of swans, swimming in the pond. Look at those swans, they look so beautiful. I wish I was a beautiful duck too. I have no friends because I am so ugly. I feel so lonely. To his amazement he sees the wedge of swans coming towards him. What he sees is the most beautiful swan ever. Hey, we have never seen you around, are you new here? No, I live nearby with the woodcutter. It's just that I don't come out often. Why is that so? Because I am an ugly duck. Nobody loves me, nobody wants me. Not to his surprise, he sees them laughing at him. He decides to turn back. When suddenly he hears the voice of the beautiful swan. Wait, where are you going? See, even you guys made fun of me, that's the reason I never come out. We laughed because you called yourself a duck. What do you mean? Yes, you are not a duck. You are a swan, and I haven't seen such a handsome swan ever in my life. He couldn't believe of what he just heard and stood there in a state of shock. After few seconds managed to say what? The beautiful swan held the hand of the duck and took him near the pond. See yourself. You are a swan. The ugly duckling very reluctantly bends over the water. Because he doesn't want to see the ugly him. But what he sees leaves him in total disbelief. He is not a duck. He is a swan. A handsome young swan. I am swan. He jumps and flies and swims in sheer happiness and then suddenly stops to thank the beautiful swan. Thank you so much for making me know who I am. Ha, ha, so now that you know you are a swan, would you join our wedge? We would live together as a happy family. Yes, I would love to do that. And then the ugly duckling, the handsome swan, jumps into the water with the rest of the swans. Moral: a diamond doesn't know its worth till it's polished. Health is wealth. Once upon a time, there lived a generous and kind-hearted king. But the people weren't happy with their king because the king was very lazy and would not do anything other than eating and sleeping. He spent days and weeks and months in his bed either eating something or sleeping. The king became a potato couch and the people started to worry about the king. One day, the king realized that he couldn't even move his body, not even his foot. He became very fat and his enemies made fun of him, calling him Fatty King, Bulky King, etc. The king invited expert doctors from various parts of his country and offered them generous rewards to make him fit. Unfortunately, none could help the king gain his health and fitness. The king spent enormous amounts of money, but everything went in vain. One fine morning, a holy man visited the country. He heard about the ill health of the king, and informed the minister at the palace that he could easily cure the king. Hearing these promising words, the minister became very happy. He requested the king to meet the holy man to get rid of his problem. The holy man resided at a distant place. Since the king could not move his body, he asked the minister to bring the holy man to the palace, but the holy man refused. He said that the king had to go to him, in order to get cured. After strenuous efforts, the king met the holy man at the latter's residence. The holy man complimented the king, saying that he was a good ruler, and said that he would soon regain his health. He asked the king to come for treatment the next day. He told the king also that the king would be treated only if he came on foot to the holy man's residence. The king was unable to walk even a few steps on the road, but aided by his followers, he reached the holy man's place. Unfortunately, the holy man was not available there and his devotee requested the king to come and meet him the next day for treatment. This was repeated for 2 weeks and the king never met the holy man, and never had any treatment. Gradually, the king realized that he felt a lot lighter, lost a considerable amount of weight and felt more active than before. He realized the reason why the holy man asked him to reach his place by walking. Very soon, the king regained his health, and the people were very happy in his kingdom. Health is wealth. The wedding of a mouse. Once upon a time, a saint was living in a jungle. He had achieved high spirituality by worshipping God and goddesses. One day, he was taking bath in the river. At the same time, an eagle holding a mouse in his claws was passing overhead. Ironically, the eagle dropped the mouse which landed into the hands of the saint. The saint thanked God and prayed to the Lord to turn it into a human baby. The saint had reached divinity, so the Lord listened to him and reformed the mouse as a baby girl. The saint was very happy. When he reached home, he told the whole incident to his wife. Both of them decided to bring up the child as their daughter. The wife was also very happy and thanked God. They regarded the baby as a gift from God for them since they had no child of their own. They raised their little girl and gave her the best education and learning. A time came when the girl reached the marriageable age. They planned to seek a special groom for their special daughter. The saint asked the sun god, "Please marry my daughter if she accepts your proposal." But the girl did not agree to marry the sun god. She told the saint, "Sun is very hot, it's too shiny even to look at. Please seek a better partner for me." The saint asked the sun god, "Who can be a better partner than you for my beautiful daughter?" "The cloud is more powerful than me because my strength is useless while raining," the sun replied. Next day the saint summoned the clouds. He asked the clouds, "Please marry my daughter if she accepts you." But the girl was not ready to marry the clouds either. "The clouds are humid and wet always. So, you can find a better alliance for me," she replied. "They give thunder and lightning. I will always be fearful. Please seek a better groom for me." On hearing this, the saint inquired the clouds, "Who can be a better match than you?" "Wind is stronger than me because it can move me as per its wish," the cloud said. Guruji called upon the Lord of Winds and ordered, "Marry my beautiful daughter if she accepts you." But the girl refused to marry the winds too. "Father, I do not think that wind is a perfect match for me because it is too fast and sometimes too slow. It is not consistent in one place. Please seek a better partner for me." The saint asked the Lord of the Winds, "Who can be a better groom than you for my daughter?" The Lords of Winds replied, "Guruji, you can ask the mountains to marry your daughter. They are high and mighty. I cannot move past them." The saint ordered the mountain, "Marry my daughter if she is ready to marry you." But the girl did not agree to marry the mountains. She replied to her father, "I can't marry the mountains, they are tall and hard." The saint again asked the mountain, "Who can be a better match than you for my daughter?" "The mouse will be a better match for your daughter because it can carve me inside easily," the mountain said. The girl immediately agreed to the proposal of the mouse. She replied shyly to the saint, "Dear father, I wish to marry him and accept him as my husband." The saint sighed towards the heaven and married his daughter to the mouse by again turning the girl into a mouse. Moral: it is hard to change the innate habits of someone. The owl be the king. One day, all the birds, including the swan, the parrot, the stork, the cuckoo, the peacock, the pigeon and the bulbul held a meeting. The peacock said, "It feels as if we are without a king." The swan said, "The eagle is our king." "Yet why do you feel so?" "Yes, the eagle is our king," said the peacock. "But he is the king only in name. We hardly see him or meet him. He spends most of his time serving Lord Vishnu. He is not at all concerned about us. What is the use of such a king? All the other birds were also of the same opinion. Now it is high time we select a new king, said the peacock rather softly. Yes, yes, of course, said another bird. Of course, I agree with you, said yet another bird. All the other birds once again agreed with the peacock's suggestion. They all welcomed his suggestion with a loud chirping. After the loud chirping had died down, the peacock said, I think we should crown the owl as our new king. He has got a scary face. His face can scare away even the mightiest enemy. All the birds welcomed the idea of making the owl the new king. It was then decided to perform the coronation of the owl. A big throne was made and the waters of all the rivers were also brought. The parrots began to chant the mantras. The bulbuls and the cuckoos sang sweet songs to celebrate the occasion. At last, it was time for the owl to ascend the throne. The owl walked proudly towards throne. As he was about to sit on the throne, he heard the crow cawing loudly. Caw, 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 cawed the crow. What is going on here? The owl is being crowned as he new king, but the crow interrupted and said harshly, how can the owl be made the king? He cannot even see in broad daylight. He is most fit to be the king. The owl was stunned. He could recognize the cawing of the crow and he felt like attacking him. But he thought, I can rush in the direction from which I hear the cawing and attack the crow. But the clever crow will fly away. He will take advantage of the fact that I cannot see during the day and thus peck me with his beak. Besides, I am the future king, said the owl to himself. It will not befit my status to get angry and rush to attack the crow myself. Except the crow, all the other birds support me. Therefore, I should ignore the crow's protests. But the crow continued his protests saying, think about it. Is the owl fit to be the king? Look at his features. He has a crooked nose, big eyes, broad head, he ugly. Looks so, and, the eagle is our king, continued the crow, he is so famous. So influential, so helpful. Hence, do you think it is right to make someone else the king? All the birds now agreed with what the crow said. One by one, all of them flew away quietly. The owl could hear only the noise of the flapping of wings. After some time, the noise died down. It was quiet all around. What about my coronation? Thought the owl. Why is it so quiet around here? After waiting for some time, the owl said, where is everybody? Why are you quiet? The crow said, all the birds have flown away to their nests. The owl was aghast. Oh crow, why did you do this to me? Why didn't you let me become the king of the birds? From today, you are my archenemy, said the owl angrily. Caw, 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 cawed the crow happily as he flew away.